Hello, Diane Leonard here, president of DH Leonard Consulting and Grant Writing Services. And I've got to be honest, I was completely inspired yesterday by Julia Campbell. That's Julia Campbell of JC Social. If you haven't ever followed any of her work about how nonprofits can use social media to tell their stories, she's amazing. But that's beside the point. I was inspired by her yesterday. She'd gone to a conference in DC where she'd been a speaker, and she'd been inspired by another presenter talking about video and how important it is and how great it is to go live. And I think I quote exactly, you just have to push the damn button. So here we are. It's a Friday, and I said, I've got something I want to say about the benefits for nonprofits of having a Scrum Master. Why is this important? Why should nonprofits be paying attention to Agile and particularly the Scrum framework? So what better to do than push the button and hop on here so that we could talk about what are the 4 advantages of a Scrum Master being in a nonprofit. Okay, hold on, I can hear you. You're saying, Diane, what's Scrum? Okay, it's not an acronym, don't worry, and it's not a specific software that you need to go buy. Scrum is an Agile framework. Agile is a way that you approach doing work, and so there's a ton of information that we've been sharing about Scrum. We've done book clubs. I've got free webinars that you can watch on our website. I've talked about it at Grant Professionals Association conferences. It's the way that my team does work and the way we help our clients do their work. This is one of our actual Scrum boards right behind me. So, yep, maybe I should buy stock in 3M. But Scrum and the way that we approach doing our work, it's helped our team go faster. It's helped our clients secure more money, which, hey, as a grant professional, we know is one of the biggest things that they're focused on, right? Getting in more grant revenue to support their great work, fewer rejections, and oh yeah, we can have happier teams. Sure, that's not a bad thing, right? Okay, so that's why I'm here today. What are those 4 advantages of a Scrum Master? Why should there be Scrum Masters in nonprofits? Why should nonprofits consider this framework as part of their operational approach? So the first advantage of having a Scrum Master in your organization, it's that person who already, yes, indeed, they're going to have other hats they're wearing. It's not that they're not going to implement a program or they're not going to be a grant professional. It's a part-time hat that they're going to wear, but it's going to help the organization cope with changes in their community, changes maybe that are the result of their regulatory bodies or of their grant makers, of their collaborative partners. So the first advantage is that it'll help you cope with change because change is inevitable, right? And while you're dealing with that change, you don't have to sacrifice your team's happiness. That sounds great, doesn't it? Okay, so what could be a second advantage? Oh, employee burnout. Yep, that's a thing in the nonprofit sector, right? Everyone talks about burnout, about the amount of transition that happens, the amount of turnover in nonprofits. It's because while everyone's really passionate about the work that we're doing, it's hard work. Whether you're delivering the programs hands-on in the community, whether you're managing the organization, whether you're focusing on the fundraising, it is intense, hard work. And so burnout and turnover are real concerns. Wouldn't it be amazing if there was something else that we as nonprofit professionals could do to reduce turnover and burnout? Hard to believe that having a Scrum Master in an organization is a tactic that can help you address that. Because what it's doing is encouraging your organization to operate at a sustainable pace. A sustainable pace, is that a thing? Don't we just have to get all the work done all the time as fast as possible? No, there's the real answer. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn when I first dug in with Scrum, when I first went through my Scrum certification to be a certified Scrum Master and a certified Scrum product owner. Look at all these Post-its behind me. I have lots of ideas. I want to do all the things right away. That's physically impossible. My team will tell you, not possible. Same idea applies directly in nonprofits. So thinking about that sustainable pace, yes, you're going to have board members that have brilliant ideas. You're going to have major donors and committee members that have other brilliant ideas that they'd love to see implemented right away. But if you constantly are reacting to those and adding them to your existing work that you're already committed to, that is not a sustainable pace. That's going to create unnecessary unhappiness and turnover and burnout. So having a Scrum Master is definitely one way that you can address that. So that was benefit number 2. If we think about benefit or advantage number 3 of having a Scrum Master in a nonprofit, what is one thing universally that is scarce across nonprofits? Resources, money. You're right. Whether you are a small grassroots organization or a multi-million large national nonprofit, you're going to tell me that your resources are limited. You could always use more funds to accomplish your work, to achieve your mission. So wouldn't it be great if you could say, you know what, by implementing the Scrum framework, by having a trained Scrum Master working with our team, we could save money? Really? We could also save time because it prevents you from over planning or from having to go back and redo, undo. You're not creating something that isn't of value to your stakeholders, to your customers, which in the nonprofit world, those are your clients, your stakeholders, right? So the idea is that you're creating this minimal viable product that you can share. So let me give you an example straight from the grant world. If we're thinking about eliminating waste, saving time, saving money, if I had one of our writers creating a grant application and I had them completely polish it, it's beautiful, everyone loves it, and then we're ready to share it with a client. Well, what if they say, you know what, actually, you missed the mark a little bit, or you know what, we maybe didn't share a key detail, we're going to need to have you rework this whole section. That was a waste of time for our writer. It was a waste of money for everybody involved, and everyone's frustrated. So instead, if you break it down into smaller components, so we release version 1, and that's where we're requesting information in the document. Then we release version 2, and we're sharing a more complete draft, still some work to be done, and we move on from there. Finally, we get to version 4, where we're finalized, ready to go. Those iterations, those moments for stakeholder feedback, that is saving us all time, effort, and ultimately money. Right? And money, yep, that's what we're all worried about, our operating budget, our bottom line, and our nonprofits. So huge, monstrous advantage. Maybe it should be the first one I even mentioned, saving time and money for our nonprofit as a result of having a Scrum Master. So what is our 4th advantage? Well, it's actually tied to what I just said. So by having some sort of iterative project, product, process, whether we're talking about a grant application, an annual report, a new logic model design for a program idea that we have, any of the above, right? All of our work in nonprofits can turn into this feedback loop where we're getting iterative work, we're getting better together. So what we're doing is we're empowering our colleagues. We're gathering constant feedback. We're improving our communication channels. It's not about extra documentation. No, it's rather about collaboration, about engaging others in communication so that we're achieving our impact faster. There it is. That's the bottom line. Yep, there's 4 specific advantages of having a Scrum Master in a nonprofit. Bottom line, increasing the way that we're reaching our impact faster. I could say it 12 different ways, but that's what it is. Achieving our impact faster. What nonprofit's going to say no to that? Especially if we go back to advantage number 3, where we're saving some time and money. Well, all right, I've shared the 4 advantages, and you're probably like, Diane, I want to know more. We're going to share more about our free webinar. There was a recording that you can go check out. There's all sorts of books. Check these out. Scrum Master Field Book, the Scrum Field Book by J.J. Sutherland, brand new, just earlier this month. That's the follow-up book. It's the one that he and his father co-wrote, Scrum, The Art of Doing Twice the Work in Half the Time. All right, everybody, have a great Friday. I can't wait for you to learn more about being a Scrum Master in your nonprofit. Have a great day.